What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Arcway, home of menswear and styling. My name is Tulu, your fashion consultant. And so in today's video, I'm gonna be ranking the best white sneakers for you guys to purchase. Everything from a luxury wear to sustainability to an everyday economical standpoint. So if this video is helpful for you, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know what your favorite brand is out on this list. If you guys are new to this channel, make sure you guys do yourself a favor by subscribing down below. Hit the thumbs up on this video. Also guys, make sure you guys check out arccway.com so you guys can stay informed with the updates of Arcway, whether that be exclusive content, news updates, or giveaways. So make sure you guys subscribe to that on the newsletter, and let's get into this video. So I'm gonna go through this tier system. There's a few things I actually look at when it comes down to sustainability within a brand, but also I look at quality and longevity as well. Whether that be the material or where they source the products, I look for products that actually will last me about 5 to 10 years. So I'm gonna go through this list and I'm gonna share with you guys from my personal experience and information that I've learned about, and I'll let you guys know where I feel what fits best in these categories. So we're gonna do everything from luxury to everyday things you can buy at the mall. Alright, so first thing on the list is Stan Smiths. Stan Smiths are quite iconic. We all know and love them, but at the same time, I had experiences with Stan Smiths. I'm sure you had or your friends had. So when it comes down to Stan Smiths, I personally like them, but at the same time, they're entry level to white sneakers. Not only that they have the green iconic logo in the front, which shows Stan Smith's face, but also in the back as well. But for me, these are entry sneakers, and I have to actually rank them in the F category. This is something if you're just getting into white sneakers and you're looking at affordability, this is somewhere you can go, where it's a little bit better than other brands like I'm gonna mention. Price point wise, you're gonna be looking at Stan Smiths for about like $120 or so. They come in various different colors. They do have an all white pattern as well. They actually have an all white silhouette. If that's something you're into, let me know what your thoughts are on Stan Smiths. For me personally, I didn't feel like they held up over time, and they got quite, white shoes do get dirty, so, but I just feel like Stan Smiths didn't do it for me, unfortunately, but at the same time, they were great at the moment. Another brand I actually rank in the F category will have to be Converse, because they are quite iconic. Everyone knows and loves the brand. Converse is that concrete brand that everyone just loves, but at the same time, they are a brand that are quite stylish, and also they are at a price point level that is a bit cheaper than the rest. So when you look at Converse, you're looking at a price point around like 60 to 80 bucks depending where you live, but they're a shoe that are quite iconic and they will last a width of time. But in terms of durability, will they hold up? Will they hold up against different seasons? That's the question, and I can tell you from my personal experience, no. They will hold up in spring and summer, maybe late spring and definitely summer, but when it comes into fall and winter, the shoes will get destroyed. But for me, I feel like these shoes are meant for more hotter climates. Not only the canvas is very thin, but at the same time, when you're spending about 8 hours on your feet, the soles are definitely gonna blow out at the end of them too. I have to put Converse in the F category, even though I love Converse. I love them a lot. I love Converse, I love what they represent, I love what they are for the culture, but at the same time, of ranking them in terms of durability and quality, I have to put them in the F category. Don't get me wrong guys, these are all phenomenal shoes, but I'm just ranking it off of my personal perspective. So next one on the list is Everlane. Everlane is a more sustainability company where they specialize on one-of-one pieces, so the essential wardrobe. So from your t-shirt to your hoodie to your pants to your shorts, and they actually drive into your shoes as well. But for me, I feel like these shoes are a little bit better than the mass companies, but at the same time, will they hold up long term? I looked into the shoes, they look interesting, I like what they stand for, but I personally need to try a pair on myself. I know some friends that have actually tried Everlane and it was a great response from them. But at the same time, I do have tried them on myself, but for on paper, for what it stands for, what it is, I actually had to put them in the E category for this one. The next one I have to actually put into category is Haan. Haan is a whole base technology shoe where they actually focus on the negative faults of shoes and they kind of put it all into one. So from lightweight to breathability to comfort to flexibility, that's what you pretty much get with Haan. It's kind of like the revolutionary version of like an eco-friendly shoe. So I had to put that in the E category. Would it stand the test of time? That is truly questionable, but at the same time, I have to put it in the category, so I have to put it in the E. Well, let me know what you guys personally think of that and where it personally would fit for you. next one I have to actually put into a category is Haan. Haan is a whole-based technology shoe where they actually focus on the negative faults of shoes and they kind of put it all into one. So from lightweight to breathability to comfort to flexibility. That's what you pretty much get with Haan. It's kind of like the revolutionary version of like an eco-friendly shoe. So I had to put that in the E category. Would it stand the test of time? That is truly questionable, but at the same time, I have to put it in the category, so I have to put it in the E. Well, let me know what you guys personally think of that and where it personally would fit for you. The next one on the list I have to put in the D category would be Nikes. Not only that they're classic, don't get me wrong, they are classic shoes. You definitely get the Nike Blazers, the Nike Air Maxes, the Air Force Ones, iconic, don't get me wrong. Phenomenal shoes. So here's my issue with Nikes. When it comes down to quality and long-term longevity, those shoes get beat up pretty fast. That's where I have a little bit of a problem with it. When it comes down to white shoes, you're looking for something that would hold up. But for me personally, I have to put the Nikes in the D category of this tier system. But don't get me wrong, this is just a personal perspective. I feel like I keep saying that because I feel like it's gonna get controversial on this video. So I stand for longevity and quality and sustainability within my products. So when I do rank Nike at a D level, it's not anything personal, it's just my ranking system for my qualities and my personal perspectives, my values. So next one on my list is New Balance, and the reason I put New Balance in the C category is because they're taking an orthopedic approach to shoes, but at the same time long-term prevention within running. When it comes down to that, I personally like New Balance a lot. I used to work for them, got fired from them, but at the same time, New Balance was that brand that I always known and loved throughout time. And before they started merging with Aimé Leon Dore, I started recognizing them for the silhouettes and the colorways and what their approach was to shoes. I personally like this brand a lot. It may be a little biased here, but I do see a lot of potential with that brand. And when it comes down to that, when it comes down to white sneakers, with the collaboration of Aimé Leon Dore, the 550s, they became quite iconic shoes in today's pop culture. But within this current time, I can definitely see this brand emerging with different silhouettes and colorways and still being here for another 5 to 10 years. So the next one on my list is called Axel Arigato. They have this minimalistic, futuristic design and approach to their shoes, but at the same time, it has this Japanese influence. So a little bit of Swedish and a little bit of Japanese infused into one, and you got Axel Arigato. This brand has been emerging throughout the years, but at the same time, I feel like this brand has a lot of potential. And when it comes down to the designs, the fabrics, the leathers they use, this is getting up there in terms of minimalistic shoes and something that will actually last long term. Axel Arigato is something that you should go for if you're looking for more of a futuristic base shoe, and I've seen some crazy designs that made me think about, well, hey, I can actually dive into that. The next one on my list is CDGs. These are my favorite brands, but I have to put them in the A category for this very reason. They are an off-white color. Would you call that white? CDGs is a great brand we all know and love. It derives from Tokyo, but at the same time it has a French name to it, but they have iconic look to it. The silhouette is flawless, the comfortability, the cushioning of the shoe is top notch for what you pay for. You're gonna be paying around like 220 bucks for these shoes, but at the same time they will hold up, and the way you treat your shoes is another thing as well. But these shoes are actually amazing. I personally like them a lot. I'm definitely gonna get the highs, I'm gonna get the lows, I'm gonna get them in blacks, I'm gonna get them in the whites. I'm gonna probably get all the colors. Also, I'm gonna show you guys how I actually personally review them myself. So next one on my list in the double S category has to be the S class of Mercedes, which will have to be in shoe talk. It has to be Salomons. Salomons for me are that shoe that derives from the hiking trail background. I have that experience and I have that lifestyle of living where I truly feel I can gravitate towards that philosophy. Sustainability, durability, water repellent, waterproof, and it's a shoe that can be worn with everything. Chinos, shorts, jeans. But personally, these shoes are really, really dope. A lot of people, you can see them flex them on IG, but at the same time, they're derived out in France. In Europe, these shoes are really, really big. In North America, I feel like they're gonna start emerging throughout the years, but get yourself a colorway really, really quick, whether it be the blacks or the whites or the browns. Let me know what color you guys like personally, or the tie-dyes. I think those are actually pretty tight. So while we're up in the double S category, another brand I have to put up there will have to be Comme Projects, because these are the upper echelon of white sneakers. Not only that the price point is extremely high, looking at around $400 to $600 for a pair of shoes, but these are quality. These are quality that will last you long term, but at the same time, these are something that was made out in France. When it comes into manufacturing and comes into demand, this is a B2B business, so they don't sell direct to consumers, they sell direct to businesses. So you can pick them up off of certain websites, you can pick them up in stores, but this is a brand that is highly sought after, but this is a brand that may not be feasible for everyone. So if you guys are in the market for alternatives, I'll definitely recommend you a brand right after this. So the cool thing about Comme Projects is that they do have a gold bar on the ends of the shoe, representing the style, the model, and the color. So it has a little bit of unique design, it is very minimalistic, but it also stands out when you see them. And they're actually quite cool. I noticed the shoes that are actually go up in price, you have different conversations with different people. So it's interesting how clothes reflect who you are and who you attract. So in that same essence, if you guys are looking for Comme Projects, here's an alternative just for you. Koio. Koio is a brand that I truly like. They are in a cheaper price point market in terms of price, dropping probably down $300 more. Then the Comme Projects, you're looking at about $350 for the shoe itself. But Koio is a brand that's kicking it right now. They're killing it with their styles, their designs. I'm definitely gonna invest myself into some Koios, and this is the brand I'm actually be looking forward to doing reviews on. So one thing I do like about Koio is their brand history. So when it comes down to brands, for me, it always starts in the history of the brand and what they represent. So the founders of Koio studied in Pennsylvania during their MBA, and they had a connection of both being German, but also their love of luxury wear. So luxury wear, luxury sneakers, that's where the connection started. Personally, for me, that's an inspirational story. I'm a dream chaser myself. Everything I'm doing is off the whim. Everything I'm doing is off the strength of myself. So for me, I resonate with that a lot, and that's what this brand represents. For people that dream, for people that are the go-getters, and Koio for me is that brand that I truly do love. So it's interesting that brand connections, how relatable they can be, can actually but can inspire your life. So Koio for me is that brand that I like. I'm definitely gonna invest into their products because the value systems and what they stand for, it aligns with myself. So I'm definitely gonna rock with Koio. So Koio I put in the category of the A-list alongside Oliver Campbell as well. If I didn't mention Oliver Campbell, I'm definitely going in right now. I put those both in the same ranking system. The next one on the list will be Kenneth Cole. Kenneth Cole is a brand that came from New York, and they focused, I remember listening to Kenneth Cole way back when I was on a podcast, and it was just an inspirational story of someone who just had this incredible vision of marketing, but they want to make a simplistic shoe. And this shoe came out way back when, I think it was like 2006 or something. Don't quote me on that, but it was really long ago. But Kenneth Cole was a brand that stuck with me for years. I want to try them. I still want to try the shoes on to this day. They have a spot downtown, so I'm definitely gonna check that out myself. But Kenneth Cole is that brand I'm actually gonna review, and I'm actually gonna get an all-white pair so you guys can see my review and reaction to the pair of shoes as well. So Kenneth Cole, because they've just been here for so long in terms of width of time, I'm gonna put them in the B category as well. Alright, so the last thing on my list, if I did not mention it before, I hope I did, but ASICS. So my brand history of ASICS, from wearing a pair of shoes, but they're kind of undersized a little bit, but they're quite snug, quite comfortable, and they're quite stylish. They have unique silhouettes and designs, and they really stand out from amongst the herd. So ASICS for me, I have to put them in the C category with New Balance, because I do feel like that's where they belong in terms of style, in terms of silhouettes, in terms of designs. I feel like they have a lot of potential, but at the same time, I want to see where they can really go. One thing I do like to see with this company, with ASICS, is if they can make like a lifestyle shoe where it has that minimalistic approach of like a Koio or like a Kenneth Cole. That would be quite interesting, but it kind of derails from the brand a little bit, kind of diving into the lifestyle standpoints. but still holding that same philosophy of what they are and who they are. So yet again, guys, let me know what you guys think of my ranking system of the best white sneakers you guys can invest in, from a luxury wear to an everyday economical standpoint. Let me know what your favorite brands is. Let me know what I've missed on this list as well. Also, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check out arccway.com so you guys can stay informed of newsletters, exclusive content, and contests. So that being said, guys, my name is Tulu, your fashion consultant, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.